A couple of items up front here. It's my pleasure to read a proclamation tonight in honor of Ron Reddy. Whereas Ronald Reddy has been active in Winona softball for over 60 years, and whereas Ron played baseball for the Root River League in La Crescent before moving to Winona, and whereas after moving to Winona, Ron played both fast pitch and slow pitch baseball at the West End Rec Center. And whereas Ron continued to play baseball until he was 60 years old, representing 45 years as a player, and whereas after retiring from playing ball, Ron supported the sport by volunteering and coaching Little League Baseball, umpiring for over 20 years, and sponsoring many ball teams. And whereas Ron was also committed to other sports, including working for the city's Park Rec Department, helping with football, baseball, and volleyball. And as a member of the Winona JCs, he worked on numerous sports projects undertaken by the group. And he was a founding member of the Winona Athletic Association, which was formed with the purpose of improving the ball fields. And whereas Ron passed on his love for sports to his 7 children, for whom he attended many sporting events. Now therefore, I, Mayor Mark Peterson, hereby proclaim July 11th, 2015, as Ronald Reddy Day in the city of Winona, Minnesota, in recognition for Ron's commitment to the sport of baseball and his contributions to the city park and recreation sports activities. I'd also like to mention, too, that on Saturday, this Saturday, July 11th, at 11 o'clock at Bamanick Field number 3, located along Sarnia Street, there will be a short dedication of a bleacher donated by Ron and Jean Reddy in appreciation for Ron's 60 years of involvement in various capacities with Winona Park Rec. The public is also invited. And with that, I'd like to present this at this time. Thank you very much for all of your service to the city of Winona. All appreciate it.
I'd like to, Mr. Mayor,
Would you like to come to the microphone, or
take a break.
take your time? We have a short agenda.
Mr. Mayor, and members of the City Council and the Park Rec Board, I certainly appreciate everything the City of Winona has done for me. I enjoyed every minute of it, and I will continue on, even though I got put out to pasture with this little thing here. I'll be down at the fields, watching, sitting in the bleachers, having fun and hootling and giving the umpires my version of the game. Thank you.
Thank you again. A couple of announcements here. One, I just let people know that both the city and the county commissioners, the city council, on Saturday morning at 8 o'clock are going to be getting together to tour some projects, both in the city, of city interest and county interest, and that'll be taking place this Saturday morning, and look forward to everybody participating with that. There will be an announcement going out about that to the media. And also, I just wanted to mention, I know I've had a lot of calls, probably council members have too, concerning some citizen concerns about the Masonic Temple. There was a delay in the contract between the architectural firm that's going to be taking a look at the trusses. Well, that contract details have been worked out, and that's going to be going forward. And I guess I would ask, if possible, to have maybe a short update at our next council meeting on the Masonic Temple for people that are interested. And then in conclusion, I want to read a letter. We all get letters from people that are complaining about things that they don't like or whatever that's going on, and we get too few of these kinds of letters, but because it is kind of rare, I'd like to read it. I received it this morning. It's addressed to Dear Mr. Beeman. I just wanted to send a note of thanks and commendation for the tree crew. A tree fell into our yard and street. I called a little after 8 a.m. The crew showed up within minutes to assess the situation. By 10 a.m., they had the tree removed and even swept up every stray bit of sawdust. They were very friendly to my children and their cousins, who all ran outside to watch them work. All in all, it was very reassuring to see how responsive, efficient, and nice our city government is. It was sad to lose the tree and the nice shade that it gives us, but happy to know that we have experienced professionals looking out for our safety and property. Please send them my thanks. They deserve to know that they are appreciated. Signed, Darvin Heckman. So I just wanted to say thanks as well and make sure that they're acknowledged. And that's all I have. I ask the city manager if she has any comments.
Yes, I do have some comments this evening. On July 1st, which was last Wednesday, we were notified that there was a large train blockage, and time-wise, from about 11:30 to 12:15 on that Wednesday. The crossings of Louisa and Mankato were blocked for a period, for that 45 minutes. I just want the public to know that the city does have the ability to contact the Canadian Pacific Railroad and actually get a quick response from them to these situations. And we were informed that the blockage was due to a situation that is not part of their normal operating procedures, and they will continue to monitor the situation to try everything to make sure that it doesn't happen again in the future at those two locations. We did note that there was extra traffic on Hamilton trying to get onto Sarnia, and so what we would end up calling, it turned into a traffic mess as people were trying to get around the area. The police department will work to assess situations where there are long-term blockages by the railroad and make sure that they are available to direct traffic if need be, to make sure people are able to get around through the area, wherever it happens to be, whether it's at Mankato or any place else. I think what the important thing is we've heard back from the railroad. We will be doing a conference call with them and talking about these situations to assure that they know that we are extremely disappointed when they occur, and that we hope that we can continue to work with them so that they do not continue to occur. And we will certainly let the public know as we gain confidence in working with the CP Railroad on making sure that our citizens are able to get safely through this community.
Okay, thank you. Roll call?
Mayor Peterson.
Here.
Councilman Thurley.
Here.
Craig.
Here.
Alexander. Here. Iden. Here. Borzakowski.
Here.
Double.
Here.
Under the petitions, requests, and communications, item 3.1 is the request to hold the 2015 Goodview Gallop on Saturday, August 22nd.
Move to approve that request.
Second. Motion by Michelle, seconded by Jerry. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carried.
Item 3.2 is a request to block St. Charles Street on August 1st between 4th and 5th Street for a benefit.
Move to approve that request.
Second.
Motion by George, seconded by Michelle. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carried.
Item 3.3 is the Winona State University street closure request of the parking lot at the band shell on August 17th.
Move to approve that request.
I'll second it.
Motion by Michelle, seconded by Al. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carries.
Item 3.4 is the request to block Viola Street for Rambler Rally on Saturday, August 29th.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Jerry, seconded by Michelle. Discussion?
The only issue I have is to make sure, since this is a fairly new request, I guess, that police and fire be notified of the blockage.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carries.
Item 3.5 is a consent to assign a license agreement to McCoy Properties for the property at 330 East 3rd Street.
Move to approve that request.
Second.
Motion Motion by Michelle, seconded by George. Any questions, George?
Yeah, what is all this about? License agreement for what?
Mayor and council, Monica, do you remember what this particular license agreement was? There's a sale of the property, there's an existing license agreement, I think it was for
I believe
Handicap
it's
ramp.
the handicap ramp.
Handicap
Oh,
ramp.
okay,
It's on the corner.
okay, I'm familiar now. Then the same question for the next item
Right.
coming up too, so.
Other questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carries.
Item 3.6, consent to assign license agreement to the River Vista Properties at 129 East 3rd Street.
Move to approve that request.
Second?
Motion by Michelle, seconded by George. Questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carries.
Item 3.7 is a request to close Parks Avenue at Unity Park on September 5th for a benefit.
Move to approve that request?
I would second that.
Motion by George, seconded by Pam. Any discussion? Hearing- Okay, go ahead.
I would, yes, it's requesting the closure of Parks Avenue. Is that the large loop around, or is that the small loop? You know, there's two loops that Unity Park sits between. I just wanted to know if it's which one, or both.
Mayor and council, typically it's the portion closest to the lake.
Okay,
So if they're in Unity Park, they have activities in that circle,
okay,
which I suppose would be the larger portion.
okay, but not both.
Right.
Thank you.
Good question.
I have also a question about it. I mean, this is a fundraiser. Are there any noise issues involved with this? And I noticed in our council agenda, it requests the public will be safe, and we have a safe environment. I assume that means safe environment in the council agenda? I really am not sure about the noise issue. I mean, there is a health facility in that area, and, you know, I assume they have been notified of this?
Mayor and council, they have not yet been notified, and typically when there are events at Unity Park, I don't believe they have amplified music.
So the approval will be contingent upon not using amplified music?
If you
I
want
would-
to
I
put that
would-
in the,
I would amend that to include non-amplified music, I guess, unless there's some agreement that can be worked out between the health facility and the people making this petition. I mean, I have nothing against the petition, you know, but I want to make sure that, you know, we're aware of all the details and things like that on it.
Jerry?
Since it isn't until September, and I agree with Al, I mean, we don't have a lot of information here. Maybe we just ought to take no action this evening until we get more information from the group doing it, because it looks like we have time.
maybe Chad can answer when they rent the facility, if there's any restrictions.
Mayor and council, Unity Park does have access to amplified music, or you can. They can bring in their sound equipment, and we do allow that to take place. Typically, if it goes past the ordinance time of 10 p.m., then we ask, or usually the event, or the organizer of the event then asks for permission from council to extend that time period. But there can be amplified music in that area.
We have a motion to amend, I guess. Is there a second to that?
I would
You
withdraw
want
the
to withdraw
motion
that?
at this time.
Okay. All right, any other questions or comments? If there aren't any, George?
Yeah, you know, like Jerry said, there's enough time that we could pass this tonight as is, and then if this clerk could just come back with any other details, or just let us know of any details that would maybe not look right, but I think everything would be all right, so.
That's true.
Okay. Anything else? We'll vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carries.
Item 3.8 is an appointment to the Board of Adjustment of Travis Biggie.
Move to approve that request.
I second that.
Motion by Michelle, seconded by Pam. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Oops. Carries. This is the clerk.
Item 4.1 under unfinished business is to award the contract for the 2015 sidewalk project to Waukesha Construction Company with a bid of $27,873.25.
I'll move approval.
Second.
Motion by Paul, seconded by George. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Under
Yes.
new business, item 5.1 is the grant submittal to the Minnesota Historical Society for the Heritage Preservation Commission increased web presence.
Move to approve the submittal of the grant application.
I would second that.
Motion by Michelle, seconded by Pam. Discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carries.
Item 5.2 is the grant acceptance of the Minnesota Historical Society grant for a structural engineer at 151 East 3rd Street.
Move to approve the acceptance of the Historic Society grant.
I'd second that.
Motion by Michelle, seconded by Pam. Any discussion? I guess I'm just gonna say I'm very pleased to see this grant awarded, and I'm anxious to see that work start down there as quickly as possible. All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carries.
Item 5.3 is an indoor skate park agreement for the West Recreation Center.
I'll move the agreement.
Second.
Motion by Paul, seconded by George. Discussion.
I thought it was an excellent agreement.
Paul, go ahead, Paul.
I thought it was an excellent agreement, well, and the city is well taken care
George?
What are the hours of the operation going to be?
Mayor and council, we have not determined the hours of operation to this point.
Okay.
Once the agreement is in place, that is a clause within the agreement. The city park rec department is to work with Anthem on those hours of operation. And to further that point, we would most likely we would need to keep those hours in accordance with our park rec policies. So it wouldn't be open late at night. So we would go within our park rec policies for open and closed times for the parks.
Could they have overnight events there?
Yes, they could. We could allow that through this agreement for them to have overnight events at the West Rec, correct?
Would you mind taking just a minute or two, Chad, just kind of summarize this project for the people that might be watching?
Yep, so the city of Winona is entering into an agreement with Anthem LLC to operate, manage, and maintain an indoor skate park facility and indoor skate shop. So again, it would be a development through a contribution from Anthem to develop a new skate park that would be an indoor, year-round facility, again, housed within the West Recreation Center. So this past spring, the Park Rec Department did close the 4.8 skate park that was housed at the East Rec location. Some of the material is salvageable from that location, will be moved to the West Rec. Going back in time, the 4.8 skate park that was established at the East Recreation Center was a temporary location. It was always designed to be a temporary location. So we think this is a good agreement to move this to an indoor, year-round facility. And again, we have an interested party in developing that process, and so I think that it solves really theoretically two issues that we had. We had an aging structure at the East Recreation Center. We have a West Recreation Center that's not highly used from a community standpoint. We think it's a good marriage of the two.
Since I vote there, I guess I'm wondering, will I be able to continue to vote there? I see on the map that it has the location for the concession and skate shop would be the same place where the polling booth is.
There is a clause within the agreement that Anthem is required to close the skate park for the days of the polling, to have it be a polling place. So it would need to be closed a day ahead of time for setup and the day it's for voting. If that location is not adequate for a polling place, the city would need to move to a new polling location, and all the costs associated with that move would be the responsibility of Anthem. And so, in discussions today with the clerk, if the agreement passes, Once the skate park is established, we'll go to the site and review the site to make sure it's adequate for a polling place, and if not, we will have to move.
George?
Was some equipment moved in there already?
There may be some pieces that are moved into the basement, but none of the equipment really theoretically to be there. Right now, it's being used by the Y camp.
Okay, okay.
Al?
A couple of questions, Chad. Once this is established in the West Center, would the equipment be able to be moved if there's another event that needs that particular space? Or is this going to be a permanent change?
Technically, it's not a permanent change. I mean, the structures are not permanent. They could be moved. It would not be easy to move them. They're not, it's not something you take down and assemble, reassemble quickly or with a lot of ease. But it is, should be clarified that it is not permanent. For example, if Anthem was very successful in this project and the West Rec, they outgrew the West Rec, we theoretically could disassemble the pieces. They could go to a new, larger location, and the West Rec would really be in its current condition as it is now. So for larger events, if there would be a significant event, we certainly could have discussions with Anthem to take the structures down, but that would be a process.
And just a comment, you mentioned that, you know, this is a facility that the city has that hasn't been used compared to, say, the East Recreation Center. Can you tell me why, you know, we have one facility at one end of town that's being used and the other one that apparently hasn't been used as much as the one in the east?
Yeah, the primary reason for the west location not getting as much use as the east is most likely the layout. We have limited space. It is an older gym, smaller gym.
Yep.
The game room is significantly smaller than the East Recreation Center. The basement, although usable, isn't ideal from a supervisory standpoint, where we'd have staff upstairs, participants downstairs, and so we had to have additional staff at the West Rec. And so really through the 2009, 2010 budget process, we made the decision to close the West Rec. Now, it was still being used by the community, primarily by the schools for physical education location. But that's the primary reason why we've not staffed or programmed that facility.
Will there be any interior structural changes made to the building in order to accommodate the skate park?
There'll be no structural changes to the facility. Again, the agreement allows Anthem to make changes to the facility. I would call them more cosmetic or aesthetic changes to the building, but nothing structurally, no.
Well, I agree with Paul. I think it's a good agreement for the city. I think there's a lot of benefits for us, and puts the building to use that is underused, and I think it complements what Winona State is doing too with their rock climbing wall and their indoor facility there, and I just think it's just overall a good agreement, so I'm going to support it.
Just my comment is this is one of those things where I guess we can proceed if there's enough votes here tonight, and we can also then review that information once this is in operation, and then, you know, decide if that's something we would like to as a city continue. I mean, it depends on, you know, how it develops and the number of participants, you know, the kind of feedback we get.
Michelle, did you want to say?
I was going to say, I was excited when you brought it to us. I think it was in March of last or early this year. And it's the kind of collaboration I think is key to a successful city, especially as we move forward with, you know, tightening budgets. And I think having, just like with Bud King, where we have an agreement with another organization is exactly what we need in our facilities, and I'm very excited to see how it works out. And I think it's maybe better for a skate park, for durability to be inside, maybe some of the equipment won't weather like it did outside. So I'm hoping once it's done, we can come take a look. I'm really excited to see how it all kind of plays out and how the community embraces it. And as a West Ender, I'm very encouraged to see that facility used again. At least more actively used is, I guess, a better word. So I'm encouraged by this. I'm of course going to support it and vote for it. I think it's a great agreement. So thank you for coming forward with an idea for that location. And Chad and Park Rec, thank you for coming with a program that works for our skate park.
Mayor, if I may just add one comment based on Al's comment, just to clarify for the public as well. The agreement is in place until August of 2017, and so it is a short term to start with for that purpose. And they are required, Anthem is required to report back to the Winona Park Rec Department and in turn report back to the City Council on updates on the program and financials that may incur with the facility.
Thank you. George?
Yeah, good luck to you. I know it'll be a good project. And Michelle, when we go and look at that, we will not only have a chance to look, but a chance maybe to participate in some of the action.
Well, I'll bring my camera. You go ahead.
Boy, I want to see that.
Yes.
Anything else? We'll vote. It should be noted that Councilman Craig has excused himself. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carries.
Item 5.4 is the certification of completion, final estimate, resolution of acceptance for the 2015 bituminous mill and overlay project.
I would motion to approve the attached resolution.
Second.
Motion by George. I think I heard Michelle first. The second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Passes.
Item 7,
Oh, do we have another?
nope, item 7.1 is council concerns.
All right, you beat me to it, or I beat you to it. We'll start with George tonight.
Okay, thank you. Judy, can you give us any explanation or what Amy Klobuchar is talking about as far as working at the federal level for block crossings through the federal government? There was an article in the paper talking about that she was going to propose some bill. Any understanding of what all that is?
I don't have any further understanding of it other than the same information in that article, but I will contact her staff and see what her intentions are and how we could possibly participate in it.
Okay, 'cause I think that could be a very big help, I think, for our rail problems here. So this coming Saturday, along with Ron Ready Day, which is a very important day in our community, at Gabrick Park will be a Take Me Out to the Ball Game night. They're going to have is Lydia here? Or maybe, yeah, could you touch base on that maybe?
So to speak.
Hello. All right, so Saturday we are kind of working together with the Chiefs, who are going to be doing a doubleheader. That was already in the works, and we just kind of joined the bandwagon. And we're going to be doing all sorts of baseball-related activities, some tailgating activities. The East End Neighborhood Watch Group is doing a fundraiser, selling brats and hot dogs, and all that money can go towards Sobieski Pavilion Project. And then we're going to top the night off with, back up a step, neighborhood ball games. So people can sign up on rosters, and we're going to get some games going on the field. And then we are having an inflatable screen coming down from the cities and showing the Sandlot on Gabrick Field. So a good classic day of baseball. Come bring your families. It's going to be fun.
Thank you.
What Saturday is that?
That's this Saturday.
Well, Saturday is a busy day. Okay.
And I just want to offer condolences to some fine folks that we all know. First of all, to the Palbicki family on the passing of grandmother Sylvia. And we all knew Sylvia from Midtown Foods, who was, as you referred to, as the demo lady, handing out all the try this, try that, and did a very fine job there, and she certainly will be missed by her family and many, many friends. And also to one of our former colleagues here, Dr. James Call, condolences to his family on his passing. Great veteran, served his country well, served his city well, and he will certainly be missed. To his wife and their children, he was a great man. Thank you.
Ma'am?
Not tonight, thank you.
Paul?
I'd just like to encourage everybody to attend the Winona County Fair and to remind them that the first county fair was in 1858 at the Westfield Golf Course property. That's all I have.
Thank you for the little history tidbit there. Michelle?
I do have something. The three Winona Lions Clubs have asked that I will remind people that they are raising funds for Every Child's Dream accessible playground for the city of Winona. They have a Swing for the Dream 18-hole basketball tournament coming up July 27th at Cedar Valley Golf Course. They have already raised $35,000. They are really hoping to be able to equip 3 Winona parks. They need golfers, they need diners. I know that Park and Rec Department has this information available. Greg Borcherding, shoot, I'm gonna butcher his name, but he's at Merchants Bank. He's kind of the front man, but you could contact any of the Lions clubs. He's kind of the front man for this, but he could take individuals or teams for the golf tournament to help get them past that point they need to get these parks built for the community. So if you are available on the 27th, it's a Monday, and you like to golf or you enjoy steak, either of those activities, they are looking for golfers and eaters. That's all.
Thank you. Jerry?
George already mentioned the passing of Doc Call, and he highlighted many of the things that he did. Tremendous veteran, outstanding pilot, war hero, one of the most memorable veterinarians that I hear stories about. Also a friend to many, a wonderful family member, and the best neighbor I could ever ask for. And he was a council member for a couple of times, reluctant as he was as being a council member. He was the best person in history of Winona to ever sit and serve for the Second Ward.
Thank you. Al?
Thank you, Jerry. I also share those words that you've expressed, sympathy to the family of Dr. James Call. As I understand, he was dedicated to his family, his country, his veterinary practice, and his community. It was an honor to sit next to him as he served the Second Ward during your absence, Jerry. And yes, we will miss him, and sympathy to his family. I went to school with his daughter Jane, so yeah, I definitely knew him before that. So yeah, that's all I have.
Thank you.
Under the consent agenda, there are 2 items: approval of the minutes from June 15th and a claim against the city by Ryan Olson.
Move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion by Al, seconded by Michelle. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Mayor, I move we adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion by George, seconded by Michelle to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.
You missed the rush. You said it's
That's right.
Nicely said.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hard to say.